So it's great to have you guys in Poland. What had happened? Because at the beginning you have planned to record one or maybe two songs. And then you decide to record whole album. The first song was supposed to be Don't Make Me Wait.
Right.
The first and the only one at the beginning?
Well, that's the first song. I asked him to come and do the song with me. He came in and he did an excellent job. I was very, very pleased with his vocals on there. Felt like he has done it before. Took instructions very well.
I do.
And after that, I was like, well, this sounds really great. His voice really complements mine. And then we let it sit for a year. And another year afterwards, we came back again to add some more to the song. And then we found out we have quite a rapport. And we did a couple more songs. And after that, it just kind of led to us having a body of work. And we says, should we shock the world and put this out and just see what happened? And we played a game with everybody. And surprise, here we are.
Are you going to let me say anything?
No.
Okay.
So how about you, Steve?
It's completely wrong. Yeah, everything he said was wrong. It was my record. I was making a record. And then he just came in just like for a cup of tea or something.
Invaded.
Just hanging out. And I said, Shaggy, why don't you come and sing on this song? And he did. And then he sang on another one. And then it became his album. So he took over, like he took over this conversation.
Is it my album?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I changed it to Sting and Shaggy, but it was Shaggy and Sting.
So, guys, do you remember the moment you have met first time?
Oh, how could I forget
in
that
your
one?
life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I assume it wasn't the moment when you entered the studio to
No,
record that
no.
song.
He was playing in Antwerp and I jumped on stage. And he was like, who the is this guy? And I was like, yeah, I like this song. And we sang Roxanne together.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Sean Paul.
Yeah. Don't hear. Some go so then. Well, I don't really care what people say. Yeah. That was it.
So,
By the way, nice socks, man.
thank you.
Yeah. It's a sexy shirt day. You can get the memo?
When you entered the studio with Shaggy, what were your expectations? What did you expect?
Well, I knew Shaggy's work. I knew Bombastic. I knew Carolina. I knew the hits. It Wasn't Me. I knew that song. And so
There's more.
I had an impression. Angel.
Yeah.
I had an impression of him. Get Your Party On. Remember that one?
Oh, wow.
And I never actually thought he and I would work together. It's a very unlikely pairing. So that was his idea, to bring me in on a track. But then once we met and we started to make music together, I realized we did have a lot in common. And we laugh a lot, and he laughs at my jokes and I laugh at his. And that's really the album is really about our friendship more than anything. We just had a good time.
So accept something beyond the music is the specific relation, the type of relation.
Sometimes you meet
both have
somebody and
together.
you see a spirit that's very like you. You have something that you can't quite describe, but I recognize him like a brother or a cousin or a bad uncle. I don't know.
You're flattered now.
No, I definitely recognize him from the moment he walked in as the best sister I didn't have.
You remember that moment?
Oh, no, it was great. It was great. I mean, listen, it's one of those, as he would put it, what do you call it? Accident?
A happy accident.
Happy accident.
Happy accident.
Happy accident.
Serendipity.
Yeah. And it just kind of flowed.
But that was the moment you thought, okay, we're going to record one song, maybe two, that's it. And then?
Yeah, it started by just us doing a couple of songs because we enjoyed it. And after we had a body of work, we say, hey, why not try and put it out?
It was very organic. It wasn't a master plan or let's do this. It was just, we just did it.
Well, let's talk about the album. Tribute to Jamaica, can we say?
Is it a tribute to Jamaica? No, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, the common ground we have in the music is reggae because he's an authentic reggae star. I played reggae. I have an understanding of it. I have a respect for it. So that's the common ground. But we've made a pop album. It's not a reggae album. But underneath it is some reggae. And then we built these other genre of music on top of that. But it's certainly not a reggae album. We went to Jamaica in the middle of it.
Yeah, did some charity work.
Charity.
Yeah.
Yeah. We raised some money for a hospital that he's been involved in for 15 years.
Hmm.
A children's hospital. And then we went back to New York to finish the album. So I suppose Jamaica was an influence.
Yeah, nice vacations
Yeah.
vibe.
So let's define it differently. Maybe it's somewhere between the Jamaica and New York. Yes, if I will try to place this album geographically somewhere, it will be in the middle.
Here's what we have in common. We are both immigrants to America.
Yeah.
Me from the United Kingdom, him from Jamaica. We went to America because we believed in the dream of America. We believed the citation on the side of the Statue of Liberty. It says, "Bring me your poor, bring me your downtrodden." And the idea of America is freedom of movies, music, art, literature, culture. It's not a perfect society at all. It's very conflicted and it's very strange. But the idea of America is one that all of us look up to. Those things are now under threat by this administration, by this government. And so the theme of the album really is that. Two immigrants getting together and saying, we love America because of these reasons, and not because somebody is trying to make America great again and making it the opposite. So it's a very political record.
I see. We all know the story very well of an Englishman in New York. How about the Jamaican man in Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn. Yeah. Well, I came to America. My mother she migrated here, and then to New York, and then I followed a couple of years afterwards. Much of a big culture shock to me, because me coming from Jamaica, coming to somewhere like Flatbush, which is a huge melting pot. Now I was with people from Trinidad. I was with Bayesian and Haitians and all these different ethnic backgrounds and cultural, different groups. It was a shock. I had to work my way in, but somehow at Erasmus Hall, I figured my way out in music and drama and art, and found a voice, and like you say, as I ended up going into the military for 4 years and came back out, did the first Gulf War. And as we do on this album, part of it is us trying to protect all these things that we have fought for, and I definitely agree with Sting on that we use this album as a platform to evoke conversation and send these message.
The reason I asked you that question was because I'm trying to figure out how big impact on that album has your past as people who you both found out yourself somewhere in your lifetime in the United States, but you were not originally from United States, and you found a country that is given a great opportunity, although it's not perfect, as we said.
No.
Love, hope, freedom, unity. So it's very much about the United States.
It's a very joyful record, even though we talk about very serious issues. The feeling you get from it is uplifting. And I think that is a strategy on our part. Rather than being angry about the political situation, we are presenting a more optimistic viewpoint that things can change, things can get better. I think the function of music in these times is to give people a smile, to give people the idea that things can get better as long as they change.
Among many questions that we get through internet, for example on Facebook, was something that is very typical during those types of interviews, but I need to ask, so what's your favorite song in that album and why? First, Sting.
That's like asking me which of my children is my favorite. I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. Mine keep changing. It changes every time I listen to it. There's something else I like. Right now, I'm really enjoying Dreaming in the USA. For some reason, and it might change down the line. You know what I mean? A couple of weeks ago, I think you were feeling 44876.
Yeah,
a lot.
I haven't listened to the record since we made it,
but he hasn't listened since.
So I don't know.
So
So there's no particular one, but it's because you don't want to judge this now, or you just don't want
You know,
to.
I think it has an integrity that's the whole thing. I don't really want to separate songs because I think the whole thing makes sense. So, but I haven't listened to it since we finished it. I don't know when I'm going to do that,
I
but
think music is about mood too. You know what I mean? With this albums bring you on some sort of a roller coaster ride, and each one of these songs put you in a different mood and a different vibe. You know, so there's times I listen it and it puts me in different mood depending on what song is it that I'm at, which is great.
The album will be available in Poland, for example, on Friday, yes, 20th of April. But till that moment, can you tell us something about how do you feel? How do you consider your voices fit to each other? Because the first impression, Sting and Shaggy, completely different voices.
they're totally different. They couldn't be more opposite, and yet somehow they blend. And that's a surprise to us, and it's a wonderful surprise. And when he sings, I love the energy in his voice. I love the timbre of his voice, and then it makes me raise my game. I have to have the same kind of energy, and so then he hears me sing, and he has to get one better. So it's a very gentle competition, very genial competition.
That was one of my questions. Competition or cooperation? I was wondering about those voices, and in general, you both such a strong personalities in one album. Competition?
There's a level of that, but
Cooperation?
but there's a lot of cooperation. I think we get along very well. I don't think there's ever been anything on any particular song that we disagreed on. You know what I mean? There are
Not a single thing?
No, not a single thing. We
No.
when we were making it, we were so into, because there's certain aspects that I brought to the table, there's certain things that he brought to the table, and you know, he kind of lets me do my thing, and I kind of let him do his thing, and then it just somehow works. You know, he's really great at the instrumentation and the music part of it. He's great on structure. You know, I'm a little bit more on the outburst and as he would say, the spontaneity.
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 It's very spontaneous.
Yeah. Of it.
I think, you know, we're both alpha males, but we don't have anything to prove. So we're just a very relaxed part of our lives, and it's good to have friends that way.
So finally, you both are very famous in Poland. Very famous.
Yeah.
First, can you give me a number? How many times have you been to our country?
I don't know. I think it's less than 10. But it's always memorable, and I'm really glad to be here. I'm glad to be debuting the record here in a live
It's good.
manner. So, yeah, it's a very important market for both of us.
Do you remember any particular concert, meeting, moment, place or city?
Well, I remember playing in Warsaw. It was a free concert, and I couldn't see the end of the crowd. It was there were so many people they kept disappearing over the horizon in the middle of Warsaw. That was fantastic. But I don't know when that was.
Oh, she was there.
10 years ago? 10 years ago?
13 years.
13 years ago. You were still at school. Yeah.
Primary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Shaggy?
Krakow.
Krakow?
Yeah, I did a concert, massive festival with me and Jay-Z. I think that was the last time I played, and it was amazing. I think I came back again after that with Nas, but it was good. I think it was a Coke festival or Coca-Cola festival or something like that. It was really good. But I've always had great reception here. I think I've been to a couple of reggae festivals here too, so it's always been a great reception, you know, and it's just one of the places that I like to come.
Thank you so much, guys. It's great to have you in Poland.
Yeah, man.
And I wish you a great, fantastic concert.
Okay, we should have some fun.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, man.